Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Technical Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing Sunday. I want to thank you guys again so much for taking time out of your day to join us for our Sunday Stock Talk. My name is Ricky. For those that aren't familiar with who it is that I am, I have a little bit over 250,000 subscribers, so I truly do appreciate all of that. We run one of the fastest growing private trading communities out there. It's called Technical Solutions. We're a little bit over 120,000 members, and if you've ever wanted to surround yourself with like-minded individuals, then be sure to click that third link down in the description. It's a free Facebook group. We offer a free group chat that lets you connect with tens of thousands of members all across the world. So let me actually... I want to say what's up to everyone that is tuning in live. So what's going on, Lauren? There we go. What's going on, Will? What's going on, guys? Trinity. What's going on, guys? I want to, for those that aren't familiar with like what a Sunday stock talk is, this is when we come together as a group and we talk about the top stocks that we see value in for this week. I want you guys to know that none of the stocks that we talk about are in any way any stock suggestions. This is where we just come motivate one another to prepare and plan for this upcoming week. We go and cover a certain amount of stocks. It doesn't mean that you need to trade all of them. We just focus on the thought process and the breakdowns and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and do this. So for all those that are tuning in live right now, I want you guys to let me know what city you guys are from. So for those that aren't familiar with where it is that I'm from, as of right now, I am based in Gilbert, Arizona. And yeah, I want to see where you guys are coming from. So and then I'm part of Technical Solutions, Learn, Plan, Profit, and then I'm part of my YouTube channel as well. So let me know where you guys come. So there we go. What's up? What's up? As you guys can see, this is what makes up our team. We're excited, we're pumped, and we love motivating one another, and we come from all over the world, right? Not just even the United States, but literally all over the world, and from all different ages, from all different experience levels, and stuff like that. So, man, I can't, it's so fast. We have some from Sacramento, Lincoln, there we go, Miami, Nashville, Arizona, woo, what's going on? Kansville, what's up? Texas, North Carolina, Hawaii, Texas again. Okay, Seattle, there we go, NYC. All right, Ukraine, wow, I like it. Oregon, Mars. What's up, what's up? Utah, there we go. New York, Delaware, Stockton, California, I like it. But yeah, all right, super cool. Let me go ahead and pretty much how we do this is this video is going to really focus on breaking down stocks that you guys see value in. I'm going to break them down. We try to focus on three things. The first one is you should not invest. Well, out of the three things, so I'm going to remove this just, so I'm going to go from right here. I do want to let you guys know that if anything inappropriate is said, I am going to ban you from the channel altogether. So if we can be respectful to one another, that's fine. I know like you guys like joking around and stuff like that, but let's not forget that there are some young individuals that do join us for the live stream and stuff like that. So I want to make sure that you guys understand that. But we're going to cover a certain amount of stocks. All stocks that you guys want to share need to be talked about or shared in the ticker symbol format, as you guys can see right here. If they're only shared with the ticker symbol, I'm not going to break them down. Please make sure that you copy it just so you can paste it, because I'm probably not going to be able to read all of them as soon as they come out. I would like to focus on three patterns: ascending uptrend patterns, horizontal patterns, and or three main things, right? I want to make sure that it's showing signs of an ongoing uptrend, that it's trending above the 180-day EMA, and it's something that's going to be relevant to be trading this week. If you're going to be calling out a certain amount of stocks that are about to reverse or still descending, then I see how those could be call-outs, but probably not for this week, right? So let's make sure that we understand that. All right, sounds good, sounds good. I don't know why I just put that on, but let's go ahead and start breaking them down. So I'm all for whatever it is that you guys are looking at. This one was actually one that was brought back to my attention. It's under my pending reversal watch list, so you guys could see that I have separate watch lists for different stocks and stuff like that. If I'm not mistaken, DNR should be here. Yeah, it's on the top of my list just due to volume. But it's showing signs of an ascending uptrend pattern. I have my alert set already for the break above 450, and I really like that it tends to bounce at around this SMA line, so it tends to be a good buy range. It doesn't mean that it's going to bounce. It doesn't mean that it's a good buy because the EMA line is still pointing down. So understanding the overall direction, right now it's building a support right around the 420 price point and a resistance, so it might consolidate at around 450. So if I understand that this is a consolidation, it was descending the consolidation, I want to catch it when it's actively trending up. It has great margins of profit, right? Let's say it goes back up to $5.25. Let's say it goes back up to $5, being a little bit more conservative. It still covers a little bit over 10% profit even after we wait for the break above $4.50. So I have my alert set here. I want this EMA line to start pointing up, and I want it to start. I want the candles to be above the EMA line and the MACD to start showing signs of an uptrend. I need the RSI to start pointing back up and all that good stuff. So all right, so WTW is being called out by Brandon. Brandon, thank you again for tuning in to our live stream. So let's go ahead and check this out. Perfect. So this is I think we've talked about this one before when it was pushing up before. It's sold off. And again, I like to say that there's 3 stages in a reversal. Everything it is that I say in these videos are based on my opinion. Nothing is something that how you have to trade or anything like that. This is what has helped me out. It works for me. You guys could see based on my previous videos, I talk about my profits, I talk about my losses. You guys can watch any of my videos. I show my profits, all that stuff. And what I really try to focus on is ascending uptrend patterns or horizontal patterns. And I want to speak to you guys. So out of all these, out of this current pattern right now for ticker symbol WTW, what would you label this as? As you guys can see, it's showing signs of an ongoing uptrend. Would this be an ascending uptrend pattern, a horizontal pattern, or a descending pattern? I want to see what you guys have to say. And what is it? What are the 3 things? So if there's 3 things that we would like WTW to do, what would that be? Let's see. So double top, ascending uptrend patterns, uptrend, okay. Needs consolidation, I like that. Wedge, nice, nice. Yeah, and then I do want to let you guys know that if you guys think that the video stream is lagging, all it is that you guys have to do is go to this right here, and you guys can go to the settings and then just click on the quality, and you guys can change it to 720p. Just a nice little friendly reminder. All right. So the pattern that I like to focus on with this is I first like to understand the overall direction, right? It's an ascending uptrend pattern. There's some consolidation happening right around the SMA line, right? This is normally where it tends to bounce. Again, not always. It sometimes breaks below. But with that understanding, it's starting to show signs of a potential reversal, right? As it approaches this SMA line. That kind of makes sense. Kind of like last time I did this, and then it made higher highs, and it continued to uptrend, right? So right now, it's showing signs of a descending pattern. It's trying to build a support, right? Can we see that at around $90? There's a slight resistance. It's been struggling to break above $95. So let's identify, this descending pattern, right? So we could identify like this, however it is that you guys want to draw this out. Descending pattern right around here, descending support right around here. And then, it starts doing this consolidation. I want to catch it when it's not consolidating anymore and when it's breaking above the, showing signs of an actual reversal. The EMA line should be pointing up and all that good stuff, right? So I'm going to set my alert for the break above $95. This isn't something that you guys have to do. I mean, you guys can trade it now or never have to trade it, right? It's showing a support again around 90 to around 95. So it makes sense that it offers that range. I want to catch it when it continues to push up, right? So based on previous patterns, the way that I would identify this is there's a previous support right around $75. There was a previous resistance right around $80. And when it sold off, it bounced around this area, it pushed up, and then it made higher highs and it continued to uptrend. And that EMA line was pointing up. That's exactly what it is that I would like to see before I choose to take a position on WTW. Right now, this EMA line is kind of flatlining. It's still kind of pointing down. And I'd like to ask myself, what direction is this stock going? I think an amazing way to understand that is when you're on the 180-day, 4-hour EMA line, or chart, the EMA line, you can pretend to put an arrow at the very end of the EMA line, and you'll have a better understanding. Is this currently actively trending up? Does it make sense to invest in it right now? Wouldn't it make more sense for this EMA line to be, reversing back up, like when it was pushing and showing signs of an uptrend? If I were to put an arrow here, it would be pointing up because that's the direction that it's currently trending, and it makes sense. Right now, we could see that it's the good buy range, right? It's bouncing near support. The opportunity cost can be great. Now we just need to wait for that confirmation of that ongoing uptrend, and then that margin can potentially be worth it. Anywhere from 5 to 10% margin of profit based on previous patterns. But again, confirmation is key because we don't fully know if it's going to actually bounce at around this area. And because of that, I'm going to set an alert for the break below this certain price point. So, yeah. Ricky, how do I open a trade account? There's a bunch of tutorial videos online, and you can get in contact with any brokerage. Let's see. Ticker symbol WWE. I like it. Okay, so WWE is showing signs of a pretty consistent uptrend, right? Based on the volume, I could see that it looked pretty low. It doesn't look very low like this, but yeah, we can see that it's showing signs of a continuous uptrend pattern. It looks pretty overextended from the SMA line, and the margin doesn't necessarily seem to be worth it. If we get a little bit closer, we could see the average like push up, and when it sells off, it bounces. It validates this EMA line very nicely, but we could see that it doesn't necessarily do an amazing job with this. It has about a 2% margin. So I would say based on, for a swing trade and stuff like that, the opportunity cost wouldn't necessarily be worth it for me. I do like that, it's showing signs of an uptrend and that you see value in that. It just looks a little bit overextended for my taste and all that good stuff. So, all right. So, but yeah. So I would personally not be a huge fan of this specific ticker. So mucho gusto is EGAN. Let's check this out. Okay, so EGAN is showing signs of an ongoing uptrend. It pushed up pretty nicely. It sold off very nicely. It's around the SMA line. It's building this kind of like reversal pattern. Do you guys see that? I think we'd be able to see it a little bit nicer on the 20-day 1-hour chart. Let's see if we can see that. Do you guys see how it was selling off? It's starting to consolidate. It's no longer making lower lows, right? It's kind of consolidating. And this SMA line is going to be acting somewhat as a resistance. So what we can do is we can set an alert for the break above. And yeah, that break. Okay, and I would also like to set an alert for the break above the current resistance that it has right now, around 1425. I actually kind of like this one. So I'm going to add this one under my pending reversal watch list, and I'll revisit this one tomorrow after the market opens. So I really do appreciate mucho gusto for calling it out. So yeah. All right. Ticker symbol CLMT. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Okay, I can tell that this one has low volume. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. Volume's a little bit too low. What I would say about this one is that it has a pretty consistent, horizontal pattern, right? So we can see that the low points tend to be around like $7. The high points tend to be around $8. Right now, I see it a little bit more on the overbought side. It would make sense on why this thing could sell off. I would like to wait for the sell-off, the consolidation, and then when it starts to push up, the opportunity cost is so much greater. Also understanding the overall direction. If you go on the 1-year chart, it's pretty consistent, but it's still, it's like, I'd say it's still offering a pretty horizontal pattern. I just personally would not invest in it because of the low volume, and it's just a little bit too volatile for my taste. So if it meets your criteria and it works well with you, then great, just not for me. So what's going on, Martin? Ticker symbol CROX. Yeah, so CROX is one that we've been watching for the past 2 weeks. Definitely showing signs of an uptrend. Wow, it pushed up really nicely during extended hours. I did not see that. It had a pretty decent sized sell-off during extended hours on Thursday, and then it recovered, it looks like, on Friday. But as of right now, on the 180-day analysis, we could see that it still trying to show signs of an ongoing uptrend. It is a little bit more on the overextended side. If we break above $18 and it continues to push up, I can see this potentially hitting highs of $19 based on previous patterns. Watch out for this MACD indicator and watch out for the RSI. It's obviously indicating that's a little bit more on the overbought side, and also take into consideration the earnings report that it's going to be having on 8/7/2018, obviously. So yeah, just keep a very close eye on this direction of the EMA line. It's doing a very good job validating this and staying true to it. So let's make sure that it continues that. A ticker that I had a very unfortunate experience with is one that was performing just great, right? It's ticker symbol IQ. I ended up removing it from my watch list because of the break of pattern, but it was showing signs of an ongoing uptrend. Unfortunately, it broke below, and then as you guys could see, the EMA line was no longer pointing up. It started to flatline and then reverse down, and unfortunately, because of that, I had to cut losses. It broke its pattern, right? That's what I first saw value in, of the ongoing uptrend, and it broke it. So I had to cut losses. I lost about $1,300 on that. I recovered about $60 on the day. I talked about that trade on Thursday, and then luckily when it came down to my trade on Friday, I was able to still end the week on a green note, and then I showed my trade on that. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand why it's so important to follow up with your swing trades and to make sure that the pattern that you first saw value in is still valid, because if there's a specific reason why you invested in it, and if that reason is no longer valid, then why are you still holding, right? And I know it's a difficult thing to have to cut losses, but it's something that is definitely very important. So Will is calling out OILU. Appreciate that. So OILU showing signs of a potential reversal, so it's definitely more on the oversold side. We could see that it just bounced. MACD indicator is looking good. We might get some rejection at around the SMA indicator. So for those that might want to be a little bit more conservative, we might want to wait for the break above the SMA and maybe the break above 55, and then it still offers a pretty decent margin on these higher price points. But I would identify $60 as more as something that's like, on the overbought side. I would identify something just based on previous patterns around 50 to be a little bit more on the oversold side based on current patterns, right? We can see the high points and the low points. It kind of makes sense, right? Obviously, sometimes it sells off below 50, so it doesn't mean that 50 is a good buy. But what I mean by this is that, sometimes it does, reverse around this general area, right? So now we need to wait for the confirmation. And that's exactly why we set our alerts and we follow up with it. And if it stays true to its pattern, then it makes sense on why we can, continue to add to our position and stuff like that. So I really like the call out. Volume is a little bit low, but as like we know, when it comes down to ETFs, volume isn't a huge factor. But I know that's definitely still something that's very important for certain people and their criteria. So let's just make sure that you still take that into consideration. So I'm going to set an alert both on the bottom and in the top. I'm going to follow up with this one under the pending reversal watch list. So I'm going to put OILU. Yeah, I actually have a video on that. I do have a video, Mason, on that. So how do you know the difference from a day trade to a swing trade? It comes down to the opportunity cost and the pattern that you see value in. So like when it comes down to understanding something like OILU, I know that it offers, like, let's say it starts to reverse and it offers this margin, right? The opportunity is about 20% potential for profit. Do I think it's going to complete this all in one day? No. So it makes sense on, based on previous patterns, I could see that it's going to take maybe a week for me to cover this margin or maybe even more, right? So with that understanding going into it, I know that this is going to be potentially a swing trade. So with that understanding, instead of taking a full 100% position here, I will take, a 30% position. And if it continues to break its resistance and make higher highs, I'll add another 30%, then another 30%. And then once we hit this resistance area, then I'll start selling off my shares. And that's more of a swing trade approach. When it comes down to a day trade approach, if something has a very aggressive sell-off, just kind of like we saw with NFLX, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's Netflix. It had a pretty solid sell-off because of its earnings report, and it had this like recovery potential. And a lot of people jumped into that, but because it sold off so aggressively, the risk is much higher because it's a stock that's currently like under a lot of hype and momentum. So it recovered a lot, and like we told everyone, we talked about why it was a good time to sell at around this 380 price point, being it a previous support. And right as it hit that, it started to sell off, and that's why it makes sense on why that was a day trade, because it offered intraday opportunity within the day. The margin and the opportunity was all provided for you all within one day. That's where that opportunity presents itself, not for a multiple number of days, right? Because we didn't actually think that Netflix was going to recover all the way back up to 410 after this earnings report. So it's something that you guys should take into consideration before going in, understanding if it's a day trade or swing trade. Just ask yourself, where does the opportunity lie? Is it within a day, or is it within a number of days? And if it's within a number of days, then it makes sense on why you should take into consideration a swing trade plan. And for all those that are part of Learn, Plan, Profit, you know that there's much more that you take into consideration for these certain swing trades. So thank you again for that question. All right. All right, Nathan. So as of right now, AEOS, so this is American Eagle, it showed signs of a resistance around this. So this is very easy to be able to see, right? The MACD looks a little bit overextended. The RSI looks like it's trending down. We can see based on previous patterns that this is a known resistance. So it makes sense on why it would peak out here. With that being said, we could also see that it's selling off, and that it makes sense on why this would continue to sell off and maybe bounce around this SMA line. So as of now, I wouldn't label this to be a good buy. I would like to revisit this one when it gets closer to the SMA line and starts to reverse, if it begins to reverse, and better take advantage of the opportunity within there. Because this would be a better buy range as it reverses, if it reverses, right? So thank you again for the reminder. So going through the LPP again to soak up all information. Thank you. Of course, Michael, super happy to hear that. Thanks. Ricky, how do you get those lines out? You could just right click them and then remove drawing. Let's see, Billy. All right, sounds good. All right, it looks like it's showing signs of a reversal. I'm not a huge fan of these specific patterns. So it looks like it's a very slow like reversal. You can see that it's no longer making lower lows. It's trying to make like, you know, higher highs and higher lows as well. So with that understanding, you could try to identify, you know, the pattern or the flow that this thing kind of has going. So with previous resistance levels and previous support levels, you can like identify this range of where it normally trades at. So this kind of makes sense, right? So this range of how it moves up and down, up and down. So this could be identified as a good buy range. But again, the EMA line is still pointing down. So we might want to wait a little bit longer for the EMA line to start pointing up. And as it gets closer to like, you know, previous resistance levels like $14.75, $15, to take that into consideration that, hey, you know, we're approaching a higher price point, the higher area of this range, and it would be or make more sense to sell around that area. Just make sure that you understand the direction, make sure that you understand the pattern, make sure that you understand the characteristics of these specific tickers. You could also see that the MACD, it's been making you know, lower highs with the MACD. So that's definitely something that you want to take into consideration, that maybe it's losing its momentum as it begins to reverse, as it gets closer to the SMA line, which might be its overall peak, right? And by that being its overall peak, that means that it, you know, it'll start to sell off, and definitely something that you don't want to be a part of. Okay, so Ryan, I'm gonna have to hide you from the channel altogether. You're saying stuff that isn't, you know, relevant. All right, all right. All right, ticker symbol VSEL. And again, just a reminder that if you're going to call a stock out, it has to be called out in the ticker call out format. So we can see right now that VSEL was one that was showing signs of an ascending uptrend pattern. We've talked about this one for a very long time. This is a perfect example of why you wait for the bounce at the SMA line. With this time, it did not bounce at the SMA line. Now it's trying to show signs of a potential reversal. We could see that it previously had a resistance right around the $11 price point. So with that understanding, it would make sense on why that would be a resistance. And understanding that, as this thing is pushing up, it's too close to the resistance. It's not a good deal, right? So we're right here, and this is the resistance, and it has much more margin of loss than it does margin of profit with this resistance here. So what I would like to do is, if this thing is going to actually continue to push up, then let me be patient. I'm going to set my alert here, wait for it to break 11, pull back, bounce at 11, and then make its way back up to the SMA line. And as it continues to, provide this reversal pattern. So that's ideally what I would wait for. I would view this as a resistance. I would view the EMA line as a support. I think it's a little bit more on the overbought side. I would scalp it if that, and I would focus more on day trades rather than swing trades because we're too close to the resistance. Wow, I appreciate that. Barbara's saying, thank you for all the information. My first Sunday stock talk and learning a lot already. You're a great teacher, bro. Appreciate that. And thank you again for taking time out of your day to join us. I really do appreciate that. I wish I could meet all of you guys. Might be something that we'll have to do once we have the TechBuds HQ. Okay, so we're gonna have to remove this guy. CRSP. CRSP. So CRSP looks like it's definitely approaching this support, right? So this would be more of a horizontal pattern. It used to be an ascending uptrend pattern. With that understanding now, it's definitely been consolidating more around this area. So something that it does very well is when it breaks above the EMA line, it does a really good job continuing to push up, and normally 65 to around 66 tends to be more of its ideal resistance. I would wait for the break above that EMA line and make sure that the EMA line starts pointing up. The MACD indicator looks good, the RSI looks good based on previous patterns. It's right around that area. Let's just wait for the reversal. The margin should be great. Let's wait for that pattern to confirm why it is. So if we see value in this because of this reversal pattern, then wouldn't it make sense to wait for the reversal to confirm that the pattern that we first saw value in is actually still there? Because just because something has happened before doesn't mean that it has to happen in the future. Patterns are there to potentially repeat themselves, it doesn't mean that they have to. And that's just a form of risk management. And I think that's something that we do very well, and a huge area of opportunity sometimes for a lot of new traders, right? Confirmation, being patient, and making sure that every time before you take a position that you're investing in something that's actively trending up. And I can honestly say that I've taken multiple positions before the confirmation, and it's the reason on why I've taken a loss before, because I did not wait for the confirmation. And it's just all part of it, right? So if you can own up to like the mistake that you made, the whole point of learning from that mistake is so you don't have to repeat it again. And that's, again, me sharing my experience with each and every single one of you. So ticker symbol right here, ORBC. Okay, so ORBC is showing signs based on previous patterns of making like higher lows. So I would identify this, what would it be? Kind of like around this area right here. And then with its resistance, it's making like higher, much higher highs now. So regardless, I would like to wait for the overall reversal around the EMA line. The MACD indicator looks good. The RSI looks good. All that looks good. Now it's just a matter of time of waiting for this overall reversal of pattern and this EMA line to start pointing up. Make sure that you understand previous highs, right? So although it has made higher highs, like just make sure that you understand that. So calculate the opportunity cost that it has to offer. Make sure that you understand the overall pattern, the direction, the character, what influences this specific stock before you take a swing trade position. And yeah, just make sure that you prepare for it, that you prepare for a worst case scenario so you manage your risk. So let's go ahead and go. Let's do this. What's going on, man? What's going on, Hugo? Appreciate that. It's VNOM, right? That's what you called out? VNOM, yeah. Okay, so VNOM, it's showing pretty low volume. Or why is that? Wow, what the heck? Okay. So it looks like it's making higher highs. It looks like it bounced here, just recently broke above the EMA line. Based on previous patterns, it makes sense on why it would peak out right around $34. So with that understanding, this direction of the EMA line is pointing up like this. So we would want this pattern to continue to push up with its overall resistance being right around here and for it to stay true to this EMA line. So I think that this is a great call out as long as it stays true to this EMA line and that we understand that once it approaches this like $33 to $34 price point, it's at a little bit more of the overbought side, right? It can definitely make higher highs and it has in the past, but let's make sure that we don't get ahead of ourselves. So and also just a friendly reminder that it had its earnings report on 7/31/2018. So I'm actually going to be in Vegas, I think, during that time. How many of you guys are in Vegas? Appreciate that, Andrew. Thank you, thank you. AMC. Let's go ahead and check this out. Okay, so AMC is currently trending down. No signs of a reversal. Also, its earnings is pretty close. So for a swing trade, based on patterns, it would make sense on why this would be a swing trade. I definitely don't want to be a part of it. AMC being an actual like entertainment, like mainly a theater, I could kind of see like why their earnings report wouldn't necessarily be there. Based on previous earnings, they weren't really there. Just the last one was. But it's approaching the support right around $16. I would wait for the consolidation for the potential reversal and also take into consideration that the earnings is right around this area. So I'll still draw this range of like kind of like the lows and the highs. Again, I'm being very conservative. It sometimes goes lower, it sometimes goes higher, but I don't really care how low it goes as long as it reverses back up and continues to push up, and I don't care how high it goes. I want to make sure that I lock in profits. Again, no one goes broke by locking in profits, so let's make sure that we understand that. And then from $16 to $17, it offers about a 6% margin. I find that to be very attractive, but also the earnings report. So it goes back to the understanding that, hey, maybe I might want to wait till its earnings and for the consolidation and for all this to happen, because it could start to reverse back up, and then all of a sudden its earnings comes out and it's not as expected, and then it has a huge sell-off, and because you're swing trading, you held it, and then you end up riding it all the way down, right? You lose an uncontrollable amount of money, and that's definitely not a position that you want to put yourself in. So it's up to you on what it is that you plan on doing. So let's see. Let's see. AMC has multiple tops. Yep, I do agree on that. So Ricky, let's see. Ricky, can you turn off the? Yeah, yeah. So it's definitely gonna. You'll be able to rewatch it. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm gonna be in Vegas for a family member's what's it called? Bachelor party. So yeah. UWT. I like that. Thank you again, Cian. Okay, so it's UWT showing signs of consolidation right around this SMA line, showing signs of this potential reversal. Resistance right around $40. And as of right now, do you guys see this? This is exactly why I don't wait for just the break above the EMA line, but because it's hitting a resistance right around $36. So I'm going to set the alert for the break above that. It's getting rejected and it can continue to sell off. It's not making higher highs, and that's exactly what we want to see. So there's this resistance, and it makes sense because that was a previous support. Based on previous patterns, when it sold off, this is where it bounced, and as it's pushing up, this is where it's getting rejected. So it 100% makes sense. So now I'm going to focus on within this margin of $36 to $40. That offers, great potential for profit, a little bit over 11%. I have my alert set. If it starts to reverse and breaks above, great, it's back in action. Until then, I'll let it be. UWT, the inverse is DWT on this one, so let's make sure that we don't forget that. Do you have any videos on long-term investing? Not necessarily long-term investing when it comes down to the stock market. My long-term investments are my real estate properties, which I've been making a lot more videos of. I actually just sold the house next door. I owned it for about 2 years, and I made after fees, I made about $100,000 on it, but after fees, it's much less than that. And then I also had 2 condos that I bought, rented, and flipped all within 6 to 8 months. And then those were definitely my most profitable flips in that short amount of period. So those are my long-term investments. I'm not a real estate investor, and I disclose that in every single, I'm not a real estate agent. I am only knowledgeable in real estate due to the agents that I've worked with. And yeah, so I would encourage you to watch a video that I have about real estate investing and then get in contact with a real estate agent within your area. So yeah, thank you again for asking. Let's smash that like button. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, Vince is calling out ticker symbol NOAA. No holdings. Okay, overall reversal of pattern. It's still trending below this SMA indicator, right? So let's make sure that we understand that. So this might, based on it being and acting as a previous support, it might start acting as a new resistance. So it's definitely showing signs of this reversal pattern. So as of right now, it looks a little bit overextended. I would like to see if it bounces on the EMA line. That's the first thing I would like to look for. And if it bounces and continues to make higher lows and higher highs, then that's great. And it does offer a 10% margin if it gets close to the SMA line. So the opportunity cost can definitely be there. So I would like to follow up with this one. So for whoever called it out, direct message me within the TechBud Solutions or Learn Plan Profit Discord chat, and let's set up a plan. Let's follow up with one another and see if this one plays out according to plan. But yeah, let's wait for the pullback. Let's wait for the bounce and see if it can cover this margin. So thank you again for the great call out. IMGN. Okay, so IMGN, thank you again for this call out. So I do have this one already in my watch list. I've broken this one down before. I'm gonna go ahead and extend to the right. I'm gonna extend this to the right as well. And one thing that you could see here is that, let me just ask you guys, what kind of pattern is this? Is this an ascending uptrend pattern, a descending pattern, or a horizontal pattern? I want to see what you guys have to say. Horizontal, horizontal, horizontal. There we go. Oh, looks like we got Raymond saying what his favorite meal of the day is. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, it's a horizontal pattern. Yeah, I like it. Nice, nice. All right. I'm so sorry about that. Oh. Oh. Justin's gonna kill me for saying that. Yeah, so yeah, it has a horizontal pattern. The low points tend to be right around $10. The high points tend to be around $12. The overall opportunity cost is about 20% margin of profit. Based on previous patterns, it's making higher lows or lower highs. So let's make sure that we understand that. So it does make sense on why this thing can start pushing up. I have my alert set at the break above 1150, 1050. I want to make sure that it pushes up. Watch out for the SMA line as the overall reversal. But I really like how consistent it's been. It's pretty volatile. So maybe my overall investment isn't going to be that great or that high, and then also its earnings report is on 7/27 and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you. So Ricky, with that, come back. TOS studies right now. I have the EMA, SMA, VWAP, MACD, and RSI. I have all this showing on YouTube. So SAEX. Ooh, heck no. I would completely stay away from this. You can easily tell that this is being manipulated. Easiest way to see this is like, you guys can see that at no volume, no volume, no volume. All of a sudden you start seeing volume bars pushing up. Obviously signs of manipulation. Sells back off, bounces at the SMA line. You know, huge volume bars, pushes up, huge manipulation, sells off. I could see this thing coming right back down to $1.50, and then whenever, you know, it gets manipulated again, then it will start to push back up again. I would completely stay away from this. If you don't understand what the catalyst is of why it's pushing up or the overall pattern or direction, then why invest in it? Why even take that risk? So yeah. Let's see. A website application, it's called TD Ameritrade by TOS, so Thinkorswim. I have videos on it all over my YouTube channel. For all those that aren't familiar with, you know, like I know I have a bunch of videos on YouTube, and I have this like helpful video playlist. I would encourage you, like, if you guys only want the free option on how to learn how to trade, first of all, I'm not the only person that you can learn from. I want to make sure that you guys all are aware of that. There's this helpful video playlist. There's, you know, I have over 1,000 videos on YouTube. This covers a lot of like helpful videos and certain concepts and stuff like that. I also have this website that, you know, once you go to the Discord app and stuff like that, it's actually pinned here. So if you go here, if I'm not mistaken, it should be pinned. It should be pinned right here, right under the announcements, under the pinned. So you guys just click on this, and by clicking on this, it will take you to this like search engine solely just for my YouTube videos. So if you guys have a specific, you know, question about, you know, maybe my TOS, right, my setup for TOS, then again, this does just that. So it only searches up my videos, how to set up, how to use TD Ameritrade, how to set it up, how to set up your scanner, all that good stuff. So a lot of you guys, this is just actually just to make it a little bit easier for you guys to understand what it is that you want to learn, and then you just search for it within just our YouTube videos if you find myself to be helpful. And again, there's a bunch of other people that you can learn from, so let's not forget about that. So yeah. Okay, so we have someone calling out GoPro. Let's go ahead and talk about that one. So GoPro as of right now, it's, oh, I was already on the ticker. So we could see that based on previous patterns, its pretty low point is right around this area right here. Do you guys see this? This overall support here, and overall highs. Again, I know that it did almost hit highs of 680, but I'm gonna, you know, identify this as a resistance, and margin is about 6.31%. If it confirms that overall reversal, also watch out for its earnings. Just understand overall the direction of GoPro hasn't been very aggressive. It's been aggressive but descending. It's been trying to make a reversal pretty soon. Let's make sure that we know that that's not something that has to happen. So just prepare for a potential sell-off if you see it break below the SMA line or breaks the support or overall direction and pattern that you first saw value in. Then let's not be afraid to, you know, cut losses and own up to, like, you know, what is it that we could have done better. So MACD indicator, we could see that it's definitely descending. RSI still descending. No signs of a reversal just yet. So I would definitely like to wait for a bounce, see if it starts to reverse back up, and we can set our series of alerts just to remind us about this specific ticker. But yeah, as of right now, it's not actively trending up, so it makes no sense on why it's in the watch list. Wow, I accidentally added this one. Yeah, it looks a little bit overextended, but I like the ascending uptrend pattern. Let's go ahead and set our alerts for a potential sell-off. This was actually found by accident, but okay. Let's see. Again, every call out has to be in the ticker call out format. So Eli, thank you again, Mary. Okay, so let's actually end it with this. So no more callouts. I'm going to talk about certain stocks that I'm watching. And again, I'm going to make a video again tomorrow at around 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, talking about the stocks after a full day of the market open of what I'm watching for the week. So that's actually something that I like to do a lot more often now. But as we could see, the overall pattern for ELY was definitely showing signs of an ascending uptrend pattern. It looks like it had a pretty solid sell-off, bounce at right around the SMA line, and it's just starting to show signs of a potential reversal. Just know that it's made these false reversals before, so I would like to you know, wait a little bit more for a confirmation. So I'm going to set my alert for the break above 1950. I know that's, you know, pretty conservative for some people, but from 1950, understanding that it could hit highs of $20, even $21 based on previous patterns, it might make sense, right? It looks like it has a really strong overall direction for someone that is maybe very busy and that can't trade very aggressive patterns and be behind a computer the entire time. You know, if you invest in what I like to do is invest in patterns that are slower moving, right? That you understand the overall flow and direction of the way it's moving. You understand that, you know, you can get it for a good deal and sell it for a much better price without having to watch it, you know, every single minute. You can just simply follow up with it and make sure that, you know, every time that you follow up with it, that the pattern that you initially first saw value in is still relevant. So I like this overall reversal. I'm going to set this under my pending reversal watch list. And yeah, and then we can simply follow up with it. So thank you again for that great call out. Great, Stefan. Yeah. What's going on, Michael? Stay green, buddy. Peace. Thank you. Thank you. So do you care about news at all, or is it all technical analysis? So that's a really good question. I personally focus a lot on technicals. I know that news is a very relevant catalyst, either down or up, for a lot of the tickers that we do trade. So with that understanding, I take news into consideration when it's present. But I choose to or tend to trade certain positions for such a short period of time when there's no relevant news, because I don't like to trade something when it's hyped up or manipulated. So I do a lot of technical trading. That doesn't mean that that has to be the style that you focus on. That's the beautiful thing about, you know, investing in the stock market, is that there's so many different styles for investing. You just have to see which one works best for you. So if you see yourself being more of a value investor based on fundamentals, then great, you know, that could be your niche. That's just not mine. And it doesn't mean that you can't do just as well, if not better than I'm doing, right? And that's a great thing. So make sure that you understand that there's multiple different styles. Fundamentals are a huge part of trading. I have found a great form of success in technical trading. And as you guys can see, based on all my videos and all my trades, when I recap on them, that's mainly what I focus on. That does not mean that that is the only factor that you guys have to take into consideration. So thank you again for asking that question. Yeah, so I like to really focus on like ETFs and commodities, right? That's just my style, and I like the patterns that they have to offer, and they work very well for me. It's not that I'm only restricted to those. I will trade anything if I see value in it. I'm just a little bit more maybe like less aggressive with it, right? Ricky, do you want a pair of Yeezys? Those are like shoes, right? I'm not huge into fashion. I think those would be a waste for me, for someone that could really enjoy them or appreciate them. But I really do appreciate the offer. Have you had more success being blonde? Heck no. That's fun. No, I don't trade options myself, and there's a lot of people on YouTube that you can find and online that I sure can guide you in the right direction. I would not be someone that you would want to follow for options trading, as I do not do that. You know, just like when it comes down to investing in Forex and all that good stuff, I don't trade Forex, I don't trade binary options, I don't trade any of that. And it doesn't mean that there aren't great people out there. Just make sure that you understand, you know, that they do this every day. Make sure that they show you your profits, that they trade live and stuff like that. I think that's a huge factor. You just want to make sure that you're, and I think that's very easy to understand and see in people. Like, you guys can see that the stock market is pretty much my life. I do this every single day, and I have an amazing community and a team behind me that helps me out with it as well. So yeah, just try to find similar people that you like really look up to, and just make sure it's real, right? Yeah, I don't focus on short trading too much, or shorting stocks, I mean. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, it means don't be greedy and lock in profits. I like that. Penny stocks, I personally don't trade penny stocks anymore. And I've explained that in like multiple videos before. For all those that are about to leave and stuff like that, I just want to let you guys know that in about 2 minutes, I'm going to make an announcement for all those that were asking questions about the TechBuds apparel. So we have a season 2 or a next set of designs that we're just about to launch tonight. And if you guys want to stay up to date with that launch, there's a bunch of new like designs that we have going on. Then I would encourage you to stay connected with our TechBuds group or with me over Instagram. All the links are down below. Join us on Facebook for free. It's the 3rd link. Join TechBuds Solutions, and I'll make an announcement there. And I'll also make an announcement on my Instagram. The link is down below. And again, just to let you guys know, I only have one personal Instagram account. There's a bunch of fake accounts out there, and there's also a bunch of fake Facebook accounts that are pretending to be me. I never invest for other people. I never ask for any of your personal information. I never reach out to you first. That's never something that I've done. I have one Instagram account. It has over 40,000 subscribers. You guys just click on my pictures and click on the views, also the video views. You guys can see the fake ones versus the real ones. And it's just very sad that people take time out of their day to try to use our credibility within TechBuds and my name to try to manipulate people. So I just want to make sure that you guys are all aware of that. If you guys ever come across a fake Instagram, a fake account, or fake email, there's a bunch of them out there, please reach out to us at info@techbudsolutions.com or direct message me via Instagram or direct message me over Facebook. We're working with all our platforms to try to get verified, but as you guys can imagine, it's very difficult to do that. So is the challenge still going on? Yeah, so I took a position on the CROX. I took a position on CROX last week. I'm going to make a follow-up on Monday. So we're pretty pumped on that. So how much money and experience should I need to quit my job and just focus on trading? That's a personal question. I don't want to tell you what you should do. Based on, I'm going to change it to this. When it comes down to like what I would do, right? This is my opinion, and in no way is this something that you have to like do yourself. But the way that I was able to make this like fluid transition from investing in the stock market like part-time or full-time and stuff like that is, first of all, you guys have to understand that like you don't need to like, I think that's the beautiful thing about investing in the stock market is because you could actually like be able to manage both. If you love your job and you love investing in the stock market, a lot of people can manage both. When it comes down to investing, even short-term trading and short-term swing trading, you only need a couple hours of the day, right? Just to plan out your stocks, you just need a little bit more structure. And that's the beautiful thing about like Learn, Plan, Profit. That's what we do so well. We, for all those that aren't familiar with what Learn, Plan, Profit is, that's the private group that gets to watch me trade live and then gets access to the overall Learn, Plan, Profit lesson library for a lifetime. And the thing that we do very well is that there's a lot of structure within that. Like we follow up with you on a weekly basis. We talk about stocks that we're looking at every single day as we go live, but we also encourage you to stay very micro-focused for your specific trades, and we encourage you to plan them out and reach out to us, and we'll give you our own 2 cents and stuff like that. So with that understanding, like I don't think that you need to necessarily quit your job unless you really don't like what it is that you do, but a fluid transition would be like once you see that you can consistently make money in the stock market and are not just for 1 or 2 months or even 3 months, I would say like give it time, 6 months to a year of where not only for myself, I'm very like conservative. I wanted there to be a surplus of like I make more investing in the stock market than what I did in my day job. And the opportunity cost, the reason that I left my day job when I did was not just because of the money that I was making in the stock market, but because the opportunity cost was so much greater that I could invest my time instead of being at my day job. I can invest it in the businesses that we have and do so much better with that time that it's not necessarily worth it to what I was making at the day job. Does that make sense? And I was doing just fine. I was making about $60,000 to $65,000 a year just by working at my day job at age 22 and stuff like that. And I was working part-time. And I've made a video on that on YouTube about my commission-based job. And I just want to make sure that like I know a lot of people don't encourage others to have a day job. So-called like entrepreneurs are like no unemployed, like that's like the like glorified role. I think that's complete BS. If you love what you do every single day and you love interacting with people and you just feel like you're having a positive impact in people's life because of your day job, great. Why not just work twice as hard and learn a new market, learn a new hobby that you can monetize on and manage both. So again, that's my own 2 cents. That's how I'm wired, and that's what I like to preach. I don't like telling people to not go to school, to not have a day job. If you love school, if you love doing what you do, then great. And that's exactly why I go to school and I do what it is that I do. So I'm a pastor and a trader. That's super cool. Super cool to see that. So I got into Learn, Plan, Profit a week ago. Oh, totally worth it. Thank you, Bailey. Appreciate that. Why do you use the 180-day 4-hour analysis? It's just my specific preference. It doesn't mean that that's something that you have to use. I use it more for swing trading. So I know that you don't trade penny stocks anymore, but if I join LPP, would you give me your 2 cents on some of the penny stocks I pick? I'm here to provide, I'm here to provide like my 2 cents in any, like, as long as you're doing your own technical analysis and you see value in something and I could see that, then great. I would just probably give my own 2 cents about like maybe your position size is a little bit too big, but of course I'm here to help out anyone and stuff like that. So thank you. How has crypto affected the stock market? I haven't seen any effect in that. Man, these questions are going a little bit too quick. All right. This is actually a great question. I'm probably going to make a video on that, but I got asked, instead of it being 13, I think someone just asked me at age 13. It was asked at like age 16, but like, what would you do if you had to start over at age 13? I actually want to make a video about what I would do if I had to start all over. I'm like all for it. Like, I'm all for like being completely transparent. Like, if I just, let's say if I still had my knowledge, let's say I lost it all, what is it that I would do first? I would, or first of all, let's say I didn't have the knowledge that I did, right? And I had to like learn, right? I'm going to make a video about it and it'll be a much more in-depth video. But the first thing that I would do is, like, let's say I had $100 to $300 to my name. I would start buying and reselling. You guys know that that's always been something that I've been extremely passionate about. It's something that we still do as a hobby. It's something that we're going to be doing with our dealership for the cars. And it's something that can provide a great foundation for, you know, your future investments. So buying and reselling, build up enough capital, start paper trading, proving to myself that I can grow that account. And then with the money that I make from flipping, I can now then fund, you know, my brokerage account as I prove to myself that I can continuously grow my account. And then I can start doing both, right? I can maybe even get a day job so then I can qualify for a house. And, you know, as I continue to do that, I'll be buying and reselling stuff, doing my day job, buying and reselling stuff online, and also investing in the stock market. And then as I continue to do that, I would like to enroll still in school. Again, it's just the whole idea, like, what would I do if I start over? That would be it. I would work twice, 3 times, 4 times as hard as everyone else, and I'll buy and resell cars, I'll invest in the stock market, I'll have a day job, and then I'll go to school. That's what I would do. And again, it's not easy, it's not glorified, it's not something special. It's something that I've shared, and that's exactly what I did from a very early age. And I would do the exact same because I can see that it worked for me. So, so my major, I still have a year left in school, so I took a year off. My major is technological entrepreneurship and management under the Fulton School of Engineering. So is your Learn Plan Profit a one-time fee? Of course, it's a one-time fee. You get access to it for lifetime, and then you get access to the Learn Plan Profit Discord chat. But if you are disrespectful in any way, I can ban you from that group chat without a hesitation. So I just want to make sure that you guys all understand that. I do the daily live streams, and I provide that Discord chat as a, like, you know, it's not something that I have to do. It's something that I do because I love surrounding myself with motivated people, and it has to be one of the biggest values for Learn Plan Profit. But if you aren't going to appreciate it, then I sadly do have to remove you. Do you give mods for this channel? Yeah, there's mods within both Learn Plan Profit and TechBuds. Ricky, what's the military discount? Someone was asking earlier. They can direct message Justin and I, Justin and I within the Discord or Learn Plan Profit group. You can direct message me via our Discord or via Instagram, and I'd be more than happy to offer you guys that discount. But again, you do have to show proof of some form of being enrolled in the military or a veteran, or if you're a first responder in any way, or if you're a student, you guys get huge discounts. So if I join LPP, I can see your trades and I can do the same trades as you. If you're going to join to solely mimic my trades, then I, with all due respect, I would not prefer you to join Learn Plan Profit. The whole point of, you know, you learning how to invest, like, this is the thing that people understand. People first think that, like, by enrolling in Learn Plan Profit, you get access to the structured lesson library. It makes it easier to learn, right? I wish, like, I was taught that way. That's the whole point of that. You also get access to our private group, which you get to watch me trade live every single day. So yes, you do. If I do take a position within the live stream, or if I do exit within that live stream, it happens pretty much, you know, every single day. You know, of course you can see me, right? But are you going to join just to mimic my trades? If you're going to join to try to copy my trades, I would encourage you then maybe investing in the stock market is not something that you want to do. We're here to teach you how to trade, not mimic and not feed you, right? So I just want to be completely transparent. If you're going to invest and Learn Plan Profit for that reason, it's probably not going to be the most effective investment, because I'm not going to tell you where I buy and where I sell throughout the entire day. That's not the point of our group. The point of our group is to really work with you, you know, to build that foundation so you could do this on your own. Like let's say 6 months from now, I'm not here. Because of what you've learned, you'll still be able to do it yourself. That's the goal. So, and I hope that that's okay. I know that might rub some people off in the wrong way, but I just want you guys to know like how important that is to us within Learn, Plan, Profit and TechBud Solutions. What about for a single father discount? But for real though, what's going on, Freeman? Direct message me. Anyone that has any questions. Oh, so right now, for all those that are interested, let's go ahead and do this. For all those that are interested, dang, I don't know if it's actually open right now though. Just try it. So if you guys want to click that first link in the bio, you guys could use promo code BOOM, that's BOOM, and you'll save $40 off the Learn, Plan, Profit lesson library. If it's not active, you don't have to direct message me. Just give me 5 minutes after this live stream and I'll make sure that the promo code is active. It'll be active until the end of tonight, and it'll be for the first 20 people that enroll. So we could do that. Promo code BOOM, BOOM. You add it at checkout. It's a coupon code. It says like coupon code or add coupon here. Click on that. Just letting you guys know, when it comes down to like our overall community, just make sure that you guys read everything that's included, that I can de-enroll you from the course or the actual group chat itself if you're disrespectful. I want to make sure that you understand that we're a team and it's a group effort, and that we are here to share our best practices and share our mistakes and to uplift one another. If you want to be a part of a group that subjugates others, then I know of a lot of groups that are great for that, right? TechBud Solutions and Learn, Plan, Profit is definitely not for that. We don't care about what other people are doing. We don't care about, all the BS that everyone continues to try to bring up. We're here to help and uplift one another. If you're someone that's been struggling to surround yourself with motivated people, I offer 2 options. These are the only 2 options when it comes down to investing in the stock market for our group. It doesn't mean that you have to be a part of these. It's just for our communities. First group is TechBud Solutions. It's a free group, right? So anyone can join, and that is the 3rd link in the description. Once you get accepted, there's on the top pinned post the first link, and you guys can join that free group, right? The first link in the description is Learn, Plan, Profit. That's the private group, and everyone that enrolls is most likely taking trading a little bit more seriously, and the quality of information that is being shared is just a little bit higher as well. So because of that, then if you want to be a part of that, then that's the other option. You don't have to join either one of the groups. I just want you guys, you guys need to understand, you guys don't have to, right? For those that want to, great. For those that don't, then please do not, right? There's so many free options out there. You don't even have to watch any of my YouTube videos. I want to be as transparent as possible. I'm here to share my experience. I share my trades with you guys every single day. For those that are part of Learn, Plan, Profit, get to see me trade live every single day, and they can ask me questions. You can literally, I do this every single day, so it's not just like I have the course and I'm just like learn. It's like I trade live every single day at market open when the market's open. It's what I have a passion for. It's what I do, and it's what my life revolves around. So yeah, just like Mark Hall said, we are a family. Mark's been with us. I actually met up with Mark. It was an unfortunate meeting when it came down to why I met up with him. But after the hurricane that passed through Dallas, Texas, Mark was actually a member of, I think, TechBud Solutions, and I met up with him, and he welcomed me to, he showed me around and stuff like that, and amazing guy, and he's been with us from the very beginning, and that's what it's all about, surrounding yourself, again, with people that uplift you, that motivate you, and that always help you become a better person. If I'm not mistaken, Mark recently either sold or purchased a real estate property, and he's been absolutely killing it. And that's the thing, it's I don't just invest in the stock market. I talk about the different businesses that I have. I talk about the different markets that I invest in. And I think we're one of the only groups out there that do that. Yes, someone can do well with trading, but maybe they don't invest in real estate. Or someone can do well in real estate, but doesn't buy and resell cars. And maybe someone does well in a certain market, but maybe doesn't have a software company. That's something that we're definitely going to be branching off to, as we do offer value in all those different markets. And, we're successful in all those different markets. So again, I just want to, first of all, thank you guys again for everything it is that you guys do. I'm going to have a much more structured and straight to the point video tomorrow at around 5 p.m. To 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for my specific top stocks that I see value in for this week. And I just want the market to open, collect a little bit more data based on that, and see the overall directions of the stocks of where they're trading, and kind of make my opinion on that. So yeah, so will you be offering a workshop in NYC? No, I don't offer any workshops or anything like that. The only idea that I have of offering in-person training is once we open our TechBud Solutions headquarters for some people to be able to come visit and schedule those. But other than that, just due to my time and how much it is that I have to invest it with our team, I unfortunately would not be able to do that as of right now. So Learn, Plan, Profit, if you want more one-on-one, more personal training and more direct contact with me, that would be your best option as of now. And again, you don't have to join. I want to make sure that you understand that. So I like that. Those Lime scooters are booming right now. I like that. So those are actually really fun. But yeah, that's really just it. So I want to thank you guys again for everything it is that you guys do. I'm going to tune on out right here. We just are about to hit that 1 hour mark within this live stream. The discount code is active. Okay, appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so for the first 20 people, and then we'll remove that promo code by the end of tonight. So for all those that want to join, great. For all those that don't, I wish you the best of luck in your venture. We also can, we'd be more than happy to welcome you within TechBud Solutions. You could direct message me via there. And yeah, I mean, that's really just it. Do you trade options? No, I do not trade options. So I like that. Nice, nice. I like that. Thank you again, Joseph. So what stocks are the best for potential growth right now? Cal, that's a very specific question. Like, we're not going to tell you what to trade. What's up? What's up? All right, I want to thank you guys again so much for your time. Continue working hard, continue following your dreams, let your passion be what drives your success. If you guys have any questions whatsoever that I have not already answered in any of my YouTube videos, feel free to direct message me within the Learn, Plan, Profit Discord chat or TechBud Solutions Discord chat. I'd love the opportunity to be able to speak to you. If you guys can give this video a thumbs up, I know that's a lot to ask, but if you guys can, we'd greatly appreciate it. And we're really looking forward to, having a very consistent week. So something that I'm really going to focus on this week that I did very well on Friday is lock-in profits. So again, no one goes broke by locking in profits. Let's make sure that you write that, staple that on your wall, and that we don't forget it. So again, the TechBuds apparel is going to go live tonight, if I'm not mistaken, at around 8 to 9 p.m. For updates, be part of TechBuds Solutions, Learn, Plan, Profit, or follow me on Instagram. Thank you guys again. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy.